Namaste everyone. So here I am again to share something which I have recently experienced, and I think that will definitely help a lot of us who are into similar tasks. So the topic of today's discussion is like essential element for a house helper or a doer. So what I mean by it, like anyone who do household chores on regular basis, either they are helper or watching this, or they are actually doing the chores, even if they are like say for 2 hours a day. So however, like whatever is the time or however you like are engaged in the household chores, this is for you if you are engaged in it. So even if you're married or not, but like it doesn't matter. It's not that only household chores is associated like with the married person. So so what is that essential aspect? So what I observed, and I think most of us can relate also, that most of the time uh, like our posture is one directional, like it doesn't change much, and we are constantly looking down at the sink. Like if our slab is a sink or slab, whatever, like sometimes sink, sometimes slabs, it just keeps switching. So if your height of the like slab is this much at kitchen, so you're constantly gazing down, and this is creating a constant like lengthening of these muscles. So over the period of time, if you're not doing any other movements to support this, where you can really feel, so if this is happening, so only this muscle is lengthening. But if you're doing the counter poses of this, then it will help to strengthen it. But only one muscle like getting lengthened for a long period of time, it will only eventually weaken it. So this is of course not to scare any one of us, but to really see like basically share that how you can help yourself. So one of the essential thing which every household helper or doer must do is any form of movement which is different from your regular form of movement. So I can give you an example of either walking, which is very primal again, but even if you're not able to do anything, then at least walking, like solely walking, not like what how we walk through the kitchen or around our home. And the second one is through yoga practices, whichever you find relatable. There are multiple forms. uh, find it out through internet what suits you best and what kind of platform suits you best. You can join any nearby yoga studio, or you can just take an online classes as well, or you can just watch already available amazing YouTube yoga videos which are there. I can name one from where I also started learning yoga and like explored my journey forward, is Yoga with Adrian. And I think most of us who are really health how to say chaser, they might be like familiar with it, especially in the yoga field. And the third one will be, other than that, there are multiple forms like dancing and strength training as well. Traditional strength training, which actually comes from, again, if you might have heard Mudgar Gada, like this. And there is one amazing teacher which is available out there, the Shredder Farmer. You can check him out, he is amazing. And there are like group classes going on currently, and you will be amazed by his experience. So what I'm trying to say, there can be multiple forms as well, like currently there are Zumba classes and whatnot, but it depends on what resonates with you the most. So the whole idea basically that um what is actually essential for you is moving other than your usual way of movement. Otherwise, over the period of time, I just gave one example of this muscle, but there are other movements also, like for example long standing. So much standing, oh my god, there is prolonged hours of standing, and it can give you further like a certain discomfort at your calf muscle, which will start from there, but it will lead to something different eventually if you're not attending it. So even the other good part to like really address this aspect, like counter thing which you can do is giving yourself foot massages at night, and just rubbing some oil in your calf muscles and things like that, like your whole knee area and joints. So this can be the other way of like helping you. So these basically are very crucial, because just remember, the first person who takes cares for us is us. So if you are not vigilant enough that how something is affecting us, then it will eventually move towards your emotional aspect, towards your mental aspect, and eventually, of course, it is related to physical only, and it will relate further gives rise to psychosomatic discomforts. And it can be multiple. I don't want to mention here because I don't think I'm certified enough to tell what it is, but from my like direct experience, what I have observed people generally develop are things related to their blood pressure, to their sugar levels, to their thyroid functioning, and to their menstrual functioning if we talk about the females. And if we come towards the physiological discomfort, then cervical spondylitis, and some minor versions of grade 1 of slip disc as well, grade 1 or grade 2. So these are basically probable consequence, which are not very, of course, how to say, desired consequence, which will eventually or can come if we are ignoring the fact that we can move, and we need to move the other way than we are usually moving in our day-to-day life. All right. And yes, when I said like I cannot say the direct link, I'm definitely certified enough or eligible enough to tell you that how these connection get linked due to my studies through yoga, medical yoga, and yoga therapy. So there are certain direct links, and because it is coming from straight like my personal experience, because I am a person who is actively active in household works as well. And actually when I like it just recently increased, so I observed myself that how my body was feeling immediately exhausted towards the end of the day. And there are times where you like your exhaustion, but there are times when the exhaustion is really not very, how to say, it's overwhelming. So then I realized that how these movements which yoga has offered us, which other form of movements has offered us, are very crucial to maintain our holistic health, which starts from physical well-being, of course, but it definitely affects your mental, emotional, and definitely your psychosomatic well-being as well. So I really hope that it was helpful. So if I want to make a gist for whatever I have discussed till now, is if you are a household helper or doer yourself, then it is very important to move in a way which is different than your current way of moving in your household activities. And the probable examples of it is either through yogasan, or through simple walking, or through your traditional weight training, or any other movement which you think resonates with you and is coming from a certified person, of course, either online or offline. That is your choice, of course. And the other second alternative is, of course, which will go along with it, is giving yourself foot massages, leg massages, like self basically oil massages, and having a proper like, how to say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes time to just relax during your night before going to bed. So I hope it is helpful. And if yes, there are multiple things which I wanted to include in it, but I think with this time duration I could say, share this much, but this is a very good point to start with. It is a request, please do that for your overall well-being. Namaste.